welcome to HTML form basics. So I'm going to walk you through how to make a form in HTML, the HTML code behind it, and then making it a PHP file. So first things first, create a new file. Again, we'll integrate X. And we'll just move this to the trash can. That's what I'm pressing. Okay, entitled.txt. Let's rename this to index.html. Eventually this will become a very fast, very secure PHP file. But there we go. Doc type HTML. And by the way, if you're wondering, I am using TextMate version 2.0. It actually, this version of TextMate is really nice. Oops, there. And now let's just add the head tags. So actually, just make that the same line to add the title tags, and then we can just type up some body like that. So now if we specify a name such as form, which this will be, we'll slowly work towards having the PHP logic, which will do its work basically. Okay, and then in here we'll want to build a form. Action goes to a page called check.php, but right now it'll just submit back here, and we won't do anything with the data, and we won't even specify a method yet. And this is just a form tutorial. So normally there are parameters you would specify here, but since we don't really care, so we can add a first name, a space, and then an input type equals and then we can specify really it's not even specify it's not even specify anything else yet. And again, we'll take care of these parameters. This is only an essential parameter. That we must have in order for our program to work properly. We must have at least these parameters. Then we need one final thing: input type equals submit. And I would recommend having a few BRs here if you like. I put one BR here and then two BRs here. Okay, and there we go. And this will make it look all nice when we refresh. Hit submit. Notice this text how it works. Since users are going to enter their first name and last name, hit submit. And then notice if we pass some data, it all gets submitted with this question mark. So yeah, we didn't specify anything, and it just submits back a question mark. And now that we've built the thing, we might want some identifiers in here. Why we might want identifiers such as name, so that just first name, so that these are more unique. And if you're not familiar with the name attribute, it's kind of like the ID attribute, right? It's a lot like the ID attribute. So now we type in some values. and there it says that, and there. And as you can see, it submits all of our data right back to us. But this isn't quite what we want, because this is quite hackable, and we aren't trying to use get, which is what this is just getting it and throwing it into the URL. We actually want to use post. So let's use post instead. So we have to specify now this other attribute, the method, and then it's going to be post. And now look what's going to happen to this data. Let me just go back to local host. Go back to form, fill in some data, hit submit. Notice it just reloads the website. No data. But to prove that we have it, we could later on in PHP. And now also, so we can just echo it out, there's another attribute, the action attribute, which we need to specify in order to, where does this file get submitted to? Because by default, it just gets submitted back to us, which is fine, but we want a separate file called check.php, which will right now just echo everything. It'll echo all of the data since it's encoded in PHP. So let us create let me just quickly use the new file creation. This will be check.php. And all we're going to be doing here is opening up some PHP tags, PHP, and then die, if you're familiar with this, die, and then we want to actually above here type this variable. This is where everything gets stored in post, so you get access to first name, is post, but we want to create a separate variable called first name to just house that, and we want to do the same thing for password. So post the index, last name, not password. There, and then we want to die. You can die a little message for first name slash. Okay. If you're not familiar with this code, this is just PHP. So let's go. So we just want to hit enter, which doesn't resubmit the data. And then if we click this, it just echoes it out, right, like that. But we only have this data for a page. So what we're eventually going to want to do is use something called sessions to send the data across. But right now we don't need to worry about all that stuff. So yeah, that's it for this part of the tutorial. In the next part, we're going to do some more PHP. So yeah, see you then.